Hello all, welcome back to another premium review. Today we'll be covering the MiG-21 Bison. Added in update 2.37, Seek and Destroy, it is an upgraded version of the classic MiG-21 BIS supersonic fighter. In the UK tech tree, it sits at rank 8, at a BR of 12.3 in air realistic battles and simulator battles, and in ground battles it sits at a BR of 11.7. To most, it is objectively the best premium jet for Britain. Due to heavy modifications and modernization to the plane, the Bison differs in weaponry and avionics from the MiG-21 BIS while keeping the BIS airframe. Starting off with the cannon, it features a lead indicator when the enemy aircraft is locked on radar, and moving on to air-to-air weaponry, the MiG-21 Bisons feature some of the best Soviet/Russian missiles in the game, the R-73 and both IR and semi-active radar homing versions of the R-27. While not featuring the extended range R-27s, they will still absolutely demolish any enemy aircraft if the pilot knows the missile's limits. To add on, using the anti-air missiles provided to you in the MiG-21 Bison is pretty straightforward due to the upgraded avionics featured in the aircraft. Moving on to actually using the missiles, in my experience, using the helmet-mounted sight pulse Doppler radar mode is best overall, as it allows you to utilize the R-73s extremely well in turn fights and allows you to lock the R-27 in situations that favor you. Overall, starting with the R-27Rs, they're best used below 10 kilometers as they're not the extended range variant. However, within 10 kilometers, there's little the enemy can do, as the powerful radars ensures if the enemy aircraft makes a mistake, the R-27 will be knocking on their door and promptly will send them back to the hangar. The R-27 in some cases can be fired at a target, and if that target dies, you can even use the helmet-mounted sight on the Bison to select another target, provided the R-27 has enough energy and hasn't detonated yet, and the R-27 will go after that target. The IR variant performs more similar to the radar variant. However, it can't really relock targets, and the R-73 featured on the Bison is much better for this role. Moving on to the R-73 as well, it's a great missile due to thrust vectoring, and while sometimes the thrust vectoring can be a bit overzealous, causing the missile to spin out, the R-73 is a great addition to the MiG-21, replacing the flare-hungry R-60s. And in practice, the R-73 is best used for off-board shots when the enemy potentially thinks you can't even hit them. Pairing this missile close up with radar slaving as well is a deadly combination for anyone not equipped to counter or fight your missiles with IRCCM. As previously said though, do be careful with the R-73 because sometimes launching it while you're experiencing too much GE overload can cause them to spin out and miss the target. When it comes to ground ordnance, another difference the MiG-21 Bison has is that it features a ground radar mode which allows you to point the nose to the ground, find a ground target, and drop a guided bomb onto it. And using the CAB 500KR guided bomb, you can lock onto a ground target, then go into the camera view to make sure it's correctly locked, and then drop the bomb, and it will guide to the target you have set, like a normal guided bomb if you were to just look through the camera. It does also feature a ballistic computer for dumb bombs compared to the MiG-21 BIS, and it shares the same rocket options with the addition of S-8K rockets. Now moving on to the MiG-21 Bison and ARB. Personally, the MiG-21 Bison is a great plane for getting in and snagging a couple kills, just like the MiG-29s. While less fuel hungry, it also has similar staying power, and once it runs out of missile, it's at the mercy of the enemy aircraft it faces due to it facing 13.0 and 13.3 aircraft with better overall statistics. However, using this plane against other planes in the 11.3 to 12.7 side of this bracket that the plane can be in, it almost seems unfair. However, this plane should still be flown somewhat the same, whether you're facing 11.3s or 13.3s. I believe the MiG-21 Bison is usable in every mode. However, there are better options in the tree for ground attack. However, I've not been able to fly it more than once in ground RB, and even then I still got a kill using the CAB 500 bomb. Overall though, for $75 US, the price of the Bison is a little too steep to justify buying it, even though it's that good of a fighter, it being better than the premium Phantom. For the price of it, it's just not enough, and honestly you're better off waiting for a sale